you solemnly swear that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
If you could please be seated, state and spell your name for the record.
Nathan, N-A-T-H-A-N, Spittelmeister, S-P-I-T-T-L-E-M-E-I-S-T-E-R.
Are you a detective with the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office?
I am.
How long have you been a law enforcement officer with the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office?
For about 9 years.
How long as a detective?
3.5.
Were you involved in investigating, conducting follow-up investigation related to a leg found at Warmont Park on April 2nd, 2020?
Yes, I was.
And one of your roles in this investigation was to look in the area of where the leg was found for videos. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I have up on the screen next to you exhibit number 1 that's already been admitted. This would be the area where the leg was found, right?
That's correct.
Did you go to various locations that are depicted in this map to recover video?
I did.
Can you tell the jury where?
Cudahy High School, Cudahy Police Department, the Cudahy Water Department.
All right. I'm going to show you exhibit 11, 12, and 27. Exhibit 11, can you open that and tell us what it is?
Do you need a scissors?
No. This is a flash drive containing the video footage that was recovered from the pump station or the water department.
The next one, 12.
This is a CD containing the video footage that I recovered from the Cudahy High School.
And then the last disc, I think it said 27.
Yes, that is the video footage I recovered from the Cudahy Police Department.
And how is it that you know that flash drive and those 2 discs contain video you recovered?
My initials are written above the titles on each piece of evidence.
You wrote them?
Yes.
Okay. I'd remove 11, 12, and 27 in.
Any objection?
No.
They're received.
All right, Detective, before playing them, I want to use the map to just help us understand where these videos are going to be from. So the building I'm pointing to with my pen here, that is the Cudahy Water Department, correct?
That is correct.
And the building I'm pointing at here, it says Cudahy City Hall, the police department is there.
That is correct.
And then right north of that, where my pen is going now, that's the high school, correct?
Correct.
What cameras are we going to be looking at from the Cudahy Water Department?
There is one camera that is on the water department building that faces, or that is on the south side of the building, and it faces southeast.
Does it show Pulaski Avenue here?
It does.
All right. Continue.
It also captures into the distance of Warmont Park. That's the only camera recovered from the actual water department building.
There's another camera that you recovered video from here, correct?
Yes.
Are there actually multiple cameras from that pump house?
There are 2 cameras.
What directions do they face?
One is on the north side of that pump house, and it faces north, capturing a sidewalk, a gravel parking area, and the tree line that heads down to the beach.
What does the camera that faces south depict?
The camera that faces south, southeast, it depicts Lake Michigan and the sidewalk.
All right. The videos we're going to watch today, are we going to watch any of the videos that face south?
No.
Why is that? Did you find anything on them?
There was nothing of evidentiary value, just the lake.
The Cudahy Police Department that I'm pointing to right here, where are the cameras that we're gonna watch from there?
There are 2 cameras. One is on the east side of the Cudahy Police Department, and it faces east, and it captures the large open field area, as also with Pulaski Avenue, and approximately where the gate would be for the pump house access road.
What's the quality of that video?
Very poor,
Okay, grainy?
very grainy.
Nevertheless, you can see lights though, correct?
Yes,
All these videos we're discussing are from the middle of the night, fair?
yes, they are.
Then, is there another camera from the police department that we're gonna watch?
Yes, we'll have one other video that was recovered. On that camera is positioned on the west side of the building, and it faces southwest, capturing Lake Drive.
And then the high school, what does the high school show?
The high school also had 2 cameras. One is facing on the south side of the building, and it faces south. And it captures a very wide frame of Pulaski Avenue, the entrance to Warnemont Park, and the pump house access road.
All right, I'm gonna start with Exhibit 27, which is the Cudahy Police Department video. Judge, I would ask if jurors wanted to stand up at this time, would the court allow that?
We can pull this TV closer to the jurors, I think. And that might help. That one has to stay at the edge of this table, so I can't bring it that much more forward.
Are you able to see this?
I can always move my position, sir.
And I guess if anybody at the backside wants to come closer to this one, you could. Or if you can see, okay.
All right. This is the Cudahy Police Department video. On the bottom, it looks like there's a date and a timestamp, correct?
That's correct.
And what can you tell us generally about the accuracy of that date and timestamp?
On the camera that's facing east, it's probably about a minute and 20 seconds fast than the actual confirmed timestamps that we were able to get.
All right. So right now I have the video queued up. The title of the video begins 2 CUPD East. We are looking towards Lake Michigan, is that correct?
That's correct.
And where are we going to be wanting to look when this video plays, and what are we going to be seeing? If you could describe that for the jury.
At the top of the video feed, you're going to see a white shed.
Okay?
In the area of that white shed, you will see a pair of headlights or taillights from the vehicle that you'll be able to see traveling east on what is Pulaski Avenue.
All right. And by going east, it's going away from this camera, correct?
That's correct.
Not across the screen where like my mouse is doing right now, right?
Correct. That would be Sheridan.
And where you see those lights, you've obviously been here yourself, fair?
Yes.
Where does it appear that those lights are heading towards?
To the pump house access road. Pulaski Avenue ends at Sheridan, and then it turns into a gated access to the pump house access road.
So Pulaski Avenue then would be to the right of this camera.
Correct.
All right, I'm going to play this 48-second clip. And when you see it, detective, please point out what you were talking about.
Right there.
All right, I've paused it at 33 seconds. It's this set of lights I'm circling here.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna play it from 33. And the lights have disappeared, correct?
That's correct.
All right, so by 2:54:17 a.m. on the camera, the lights are gone.
That's correct.
And would that be consistent with the vehicle arriving at that gate around that time?
That's correct.
The next clip I'm gonna play is titled 6 space CUPD. We're looking at the same camera now, correct?
That's correct.
But a different time.
Correct.
What time are we looking at?
4:32 a.m.
I'm gonna play this clip, it's 39 seconds. What are we gonna see?
From the last location that we saw the lights earlier on the previous video, you will see those LED headlights again, and they will appear to be traveling in the opposing direction, heading west on Pulaski Avenue.
Away from the lake.
Correct.
Okay. Tell us when you see them.
Right there.
All right, so about 4:32:24,
That's correct.
playing, I paused it at 17 seconds, I'm playing it from there. And by 4:32:38-ish, they're off camera, correct?
That's correct.
Last clip, it's titled 8 CUPD, different camera. Tell us what we're looking at.
This is the camera that's on the west side of the Cudahy Police Department. It is facing southwest, and you see Lake Drive is the road directly to the west of that parking lot.
So Lake Drive would be this road here,
That's correct.
and to get to Pulaski Avenue, which would get you into Warmont Park, if you were here, you would essentially go down this street and you would turn left up here, correct?
Correct.
Okay. What are we going to be looking for and see on this one?
The subjects, or the vehicle that was captured on Pulaski Avenue, will not be able to see it traveling on Pulaski Avenue, but on the houses on the left side of the video frame, you're gonna see those houses lighted by headlights that would be coming towards them. You'll then see a vehicle that will enter the camera frame traveling north.
Away from Pulaski Avenue.
Correct.
Playing clip 8. 8 CUPD. It's 55 seconds. Tell us when we see what you just described, please.
And there's the start of the headlights.
All right, I'm going to pause it at 36 and back up 10 seconds to 26. Play it again. Right there?
Yes.
And now you see the headlights of a vehicle heading northbound?
That's correct.
Okay. Paused at 44 seconds. What general description can you get of the vehicle from that?
That vehicle appears to be a smaller sedan with kind of like C taillights, because you are able to see the end of the taillights on that camera frame.
Okay. Pretty blurry, but small sedan style vehicle.
Correct.
All right, dark colored?
Yes, sir.
And what did you say about the timestamp here related to the other timestamp? So right now, it's just gone off frame at 4:34:56 a.m.
This camera that faces west appeared to be about 40 seconds fast. a little bit different from the camera on the east.
Okay. Exhibit 12 is going to come up next. This is the Cudahy High School video. About to see somewhat of a similar camera frame, but depicting similar areas, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Going to start with the video labeled 450-student parking lot. And just take a minute to load quick. Was there, and while that's loading, let me ask you, Detective, was there a specific reason why you were looking for video footage from these locations from that specific time frame of 2:50 a.m. to about 4:40 a.m.?
We had received records from Life 360 that depicted that the victim's phone had been in the area between 2:50 a.m. and 4:30 a.m.
So you zoned in on that time frame because that was the information you had about when Sade's phone appeared to have been in the area of Warnemont Park, correct?
That's correct.
And it obviously goes without saying you had known already that a leg had been found there on April 2nd.
Yes.
When was it that you were going to collect these videos then? Would it have been that day?
I would have started on April 3rd.
All right. I have the student parking lot video queued up here. This one is sort of difficult to see, but what are we going to want to be looking at? If you could orient the jury, please.
On the upper left-hand side of the video, you'll see again a white shed. That is the same shed I pointed out in the Cudahy Police Department video. And
The thing I'm circling here,
yes, it is.
okay?
To the right is a building is going to be on the right side. That is the Cudahy Police Department where we had the other video from.
Okay.
What we're going to see is going to be on the upper left side of the video, and you'll see headlights again traveling on Pulaski east away from the camera towards the pump house access road.
Okay, and this is obviously in a different video player. Your date and timestamp for this video is down here in the lower left-hand corner, correct?
Correct.
And the road you're talking about, this would be that white shed. The road is right about over here, fair?
That's correct.
Is this where general area where we're gonna see the lights from that same vehicle from the other video?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm gonna cue it up. What can you tell us about the date and timestamp being accurate for this video?
The Cudahy High School is one of the first places that I had access to recover video footage. While I was in the school resource officer's office, I reviewed the timestamp and confirmed that they were correct to the second.
Based on checking your time?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna play this video from 2:52 a.m. to 2:53 a.m. And Detective, if you could, if Your Honor will allow the witness to stand up and point out what he's talking about, as it is kind of small on the top of the screen.
That's fine, just pull that microphone as far over as you can.
Can you bring the mic with you if possible?
Ooh, I apologize for that.
All right, playing at 2:52:02 a.m.
Right here. Right where I just pointed was a vehicle traveling east on Pulaski.
All right, where my mouse is circling here?
That's correct, and it's pulling up to a four-way stop sign at the intersection of Sheridan.
So it can either go left to go north on Sheridan, right to go south towards the golf course, or straight to the gate of the Pump House Road, correct?
That's correct.
And what does it do?
It goes straight and towards the pump house access road.
And you know that because you can't see its lights going to the left or right, fair?
That's correct.
Pausing it at 2:52:58 a.m. Now, this video has a scroll bar at the bottom, and I can move it, and the video will play with it, correct?
That's correct.
Have you gone through this to see if there's any other any other vehicles that go that same direction down towards that service road in between the times of 2:52 a.m. and 4:30 a.m.?
I did.
Are there any other vehicles that travel that route
No, they're not.
or come out of there?
I observed nothing of note when reviewing the video footage in between the time frames.
All right, and I'm scrolling ahead on the bottom here, and I'm gonna go all the way up until 4:34 a.m. Or as close as I can get. All right, I'm gonna play it from 4:33:37 a.m.
You'll see a pair of headlights that will come out of where the pump house access road is, which is the last place we saw the vehicle traveling.
Please point out when you see it. Oh, I'm sorry, I have the wrong time. I'm going back to 4:30:50. I'm gonna start it from 4:30:43. Do you see it?
Yes.
Point to it, please. Okay. Very faint.
Very faint, but in the upper left-hand corner of the video.
Where does it appear the vehicle immediately goes to?
The vehicle is going to make a left turn onto Sheridan and enter Warnemont Park.
Towards the golf course?
Correct.
And is that a through road down there?
No, it's not. It dead ends at the golf course at a parking lot.
Okay. And why don't you describe what we're looking at as it's happening, as the video continues to play forward here. It's now at 4:31:46.
You can see lights inside of Warnemont Park, and the vehicle has entered into the area and now has turned around at the dead end and is heading back north on Sheridan towards Pulaski.
Is that it, right where my mouse is here?
The vehicle is now approaching the four-way stop sign at Pulaski and is going to make a left turn and head west on Pulaski towards Lake Drive.
Okay. So it's kind of coming towards the camera, fair?
Yes,
And now it's turning westbound on Pulaski.
that's correct.
All right. And it's heading west, and it's going to go behind that white shed at this point, correct?
Correct.
All right. Pause it at 4:33 a.m. I'm going to now bring up the video on this disc titled 400 Main Entrance. And while that's loading, Detective, essentially what you observed there was a vehicle entering the service road around somewhere in the 2:52 to 2:53 a.m. hour, correct?
That's correct.
That vehicle, you never see a vehicle go in or out in the meantime up until about 4:50 a.m.
That's correct.
And when the vehicle leaves, it goes down the dead-end road and then appears to have doubled back, go back to Pulaski, and then leave the part to the west.
That's correct.
That's what we just watched.
Yes, sir.
All right. Would that have been consistent with what was on that Cudahy police video as well?
Yes, sir.
That camera's a little clearer, though.
Much clearer.
I have on the screen now the video from the main entrance to the school, right?
That's correct.
Okay, just very briefly, let me go back to the map here. So those videos we watched from the police department, the other high school camera, we got the car going down Pulaski, following where my pen is going, around 252. It then goes into Warnemont here, or excuse me, into the service road here, right?
That's correct.
Comes out at 4:30, little after 4:30, goes south off of this map, comes back north, and then heads out onto Pulaski, ultimately turning north onto what would be Lake Drive.
That's correct.
The camera we're about to watch is right where my pen is at here, correct?
Yes, sir.
Essentially, what are we about to see?
You're about to see the vehicle traveling north on Lake Drive.
I'm gonna play this video at 4:34 a.m. (4:33:56). Where should we be looking, by the way? Can you point to it?
Yes.
All right, you're pointing to the upper right portion,
Yes, sir.
and the vehicle is gonna kind of follow where my mouse is going, correct?
Yes, that is Lake Drive. And the headlights are now entering.
Okay. And you're able to see, if I pause it at 4:34:29, it appears to be sort of a dark sedan-style vehicle, correct?
That's correct.
All right. Off the screen by 4:34:31, right?
That's correct.
All right, I'm gonna put in Exhibit 11 now. This is gonna be the pump house video. This might take some time, Judge, just so the court's aware.
Does the jury need a break to stretch your legs for a few minutes? Let's do that. Let's take a 5-10 minute break. Give him a moment to set this up. Just leave your notebooks on your chair, please. Are the next videos brighter?
When we went off the record to take a break and the witness stepped down, he approached me, and he's sitting behind me right now, approached me and indicated that he believed that juror was his, was a treating doctor of his. He then told me her name, and I checked, and it is her. So I informed defense counsel of that. That's the only thing I would add to that, and I don't have anything else regarding that.
And the doctor treated the witness, but is not an ongoing doctor-patient relationship, is that correct?
You can speak.
Just general practice, like I see her once a year.
Okay.
He sees her for a physical, basically.
I'm sorry?
It sounds like he sees her for a physical or something, it's
That's what
fine.
it sounds like.
It's not an issue for us.
Okay. Then, anything further to address on the record at this time?
No.
Defense?
No,
Okay, then we'll bring the jury back in, and then Deputy Benz, the state's indicated that their next videos are kind of dark as well, so if we could again dim the lights, that'd be great. Thank you. Yes, please. Okay, we're going back on the record at this time. When we last broke, the state was on its direct examination of Detective Spittelmeister. Detective, you're still under oath. State, are you prepared to proceed?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay.
And we're dimming the lights again.
Yep. While he does that, dims the lights, I have now, this is exhibit number 11. We're gonna watch 2 cameras. This is gonna be the Cudahy Water Department video, correct?
Correct.
All right, and thank you for pulling the mic with you. This video that we're watching here is from the actual water department, not the pump house, correct?
That's correct.
So this, where my mouse is scrolling right here on the upper right, what street is that?
That's Pulaski.
And the date and timestamp on this video, it says April 2, 2024, 2:59:59. Is that off?
It is, but the video is approximately 37 minutes and 52 seconds fast.
Okay. And so I'm going to cue this video up to 29 minutes, 50 seconds. That means 3:29:49, roughly 2:52 in the morning, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I'm going to play just 15 seconds. What are we going to see, by the way?
You're going to see a car traveling east on Pulaski Avenue from the bottom right corner, approximately right here, and then traveling upwards east towards Sheridan and Warnemont Park.
In the precise direction of that service gate, correct?
Correct.
Playing at 29:50.
And the lights are now visible.
All right, and there it is.
Correct.
All right, and it's off camera by 3:30:02. That would have been just after 2:52 a.m. real time, correct?
Correct.
The general description of the vehicle, dark sedan, fair to say?
That's correct.
Next clip, that was clip, starts with the number 1. We're just going to go forward. This is clip 2. Same camera, correct?
Correct.
And I have it queued up. The timestamp here is 5:09:49, but really, what time would that be?
It would be about 4:31 in the morning.
Okay? Playing from that time. All right, and you see the headlights up here?
Correct.
Where is that vehicle coming from or going to?
That appears to be Warnemont Park and near the golf course parking lot.
All right, so that would faintly be capturing when the car leaves the service road and heads south towards the golf course, correct?
That's correct.
Down the dead end.
Yes, sir.
And then it returns to Pulaski, and if the other videos showed us anything, it's going to drive right by this camera again, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And there it is.
And there's the vehicle traveling, and it's traveling west towards Lake Drive.
All right, off camera, and by timestamp 11:11 on the video is where I paused it. So what time is this real time, roughly?
It'd be about 5:33 or 4:33 in the morning.
All right. I'm gonna move to camera 1. This is video number 3 on this exhibit. What are we looking at here, Detective?
So this is the video that was that I recovered from the pump house. It is facing northeast. Towards the bottom of the video here, you see kind of the sidewalk that goes around the pump house. Off to the left side of the video, over there, that is going to be where the gravel parking lot is. And directly towards the front and center is the end of the parking lot, which is approximately probably like 6 to 8 feet down to beach level. And the tree line to the left on the left side has a couple of small hiking trails that allow you to walk along the bluff and down towards the beach.
Okay, so where my mouse is at right now, is that the general area of where those trails would be to get down towards the waterfront?
Yes.
And when you, obviously you can't see it very well because it's dark here, but beyond that and down by that waterfront, about 100 to 150 yards away from this area, that's where the leg was found, correct?
Correct.
You looked at this camera angle from about what time to what time?
From that 2:50 to 4:45.
Okay, and that's because the videos that we just watched show that car going down towards this area shortly after 2:52, 2:53 a.m., correct?
Correct.
And nothing comes out in that meantime, correct?
Correct.
Is there a similar camera that faces the opposite direction, the southbound direction?
I didn't hear you.
Asked and answered.
I think you can, he's trying to clarify. You can answer it if you're able.
Yes, there's another camera that's on the south side and faces east, capturing the sidewalk in Lake Michigan.
And you watched those video clips as well?
Yes.
All right. Did you notice something on this video camera that you did not notice on the other video camera?
Yes, I noticed headlights along the bluff and a shadow of a person in the tree line.
All right. A human silhouette, more or less?
Yes.
I'm going to cue this video up to 30 minutes and 36 seconds. The timestamp says 3:35 a.m. So this would be about 2:53 a.m. real time?
Correct.
All right. And I'm going to use the zoom feature. That parking slab, if you drive down the Pump House Road, it would actually be a little off camera to the left here, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, but on this clip, what are we going to see?
You're going to see headlights illuminating that left side portion of the bluff that I just pointed to.
Okay. Playing at 30:36. And if you can, I want you to point it out when you see it.
The lights are now coming on towards the left side.
Okay? Very faint, correct?
Correct.
I'm now going to advance the video to 39:16. This would be about 3:02 a.m., is that correct?
That's correct.
Real time. The camera says 3:39:15, right?
Correct.
Okay. Now what are we going to start to see?
You're going to see that human silhouette in between the tree line, and I'll point to where we'll be looking. And it'll be in this area where the lake is behind the trees, so it allows us to see the silhouette from the lights on the pump house with the lake in the background.
I'm going to play this from 39:16 to 40:22. And I want you to point it out, Detective, when you see it.
I can already see it right in the left area, towards the middle. And now walking in between these two trees. And right here again, in between the other two trees.
Does it appear he bends over right there?
Yes, sir. And now the individual, the silhouette, is standing behind the tree and is going to walk back towards the tree line and will no longer be visible.
Paused at 40:21. I'm going to go back and play it just in slight fast forward. Point it out again, please.
The person's walking down into the tree line and should be exposed here and continues. He'll bend over.
Right there?
Yes, sir. And then now stands back up and is going to walk back into that tree line.
Paused at 40:22, and then the last clip on this one. Advancing the video to 43:16, I'm going to play to 44:52. What are we going to see on this clip?
We're going to see that same silhouette, and it's going to be entering the same area that we saw before, except this time we'll see the silhouette going down towards the beach level and exiting camera.
Playing at 43:16. Please point it out, Detective, when you see it.
I can already see a little bit of the disruption as the shadow walks through, and the silhouette's now visible in between the trees. And now the silhouette appears to be hunched over. There are rocks and other things to climb over in that area. The silhouette then moves down and disappears from camera.
I'm going to fast forward slightly briefly.
And right there again, the silhouette is visible down on the rocks slash rough terrain that is down towards beach level.
Pause at 44:51. This would be about 3:05 a.m. real time, correct?
Correct.
And after this time, do you see anything else up until about 4:17 a.m.?
I observed nothing else of note until that 4:17.
So that silhouette that descends the bluffs appears, at least from you can see on this video, to stay down there from this time all the way until 4:17.
From what is visible on the camera, yes, that is all that I see.
Playing clip 4. There's 5 total clips. This is clip 4. And I have it queued up to 55 minutes, 22 seconds. What are we going to see on this clip?
We're going to see that same silhouette walking up from the beach level and back into the tree line.
And this would be around that 4:17 a.m. real time, correct?
Correct. And the silhouette is now visible in the area I just pointed to.
Okay. And it appears he's ascending the bluff there?
That's correct.
And now I'm going to fast forward it. So he just came up the bluff,
Correct.
okay? Do you see him again?
Yes, in that same tree line, the silhouette is again visible and appears to be descending the bluff and the rocks down to the beach level.
This would be about 4:20 a.m. real time?
Yes.
And I'm going to fast forward till the end of this clip. He's out of view now, correct?
Correct.
And that takes us to the end of that clip. And then last but not least, clip 5. We're picking up around, it says 5 o'clock here, but we know that's wrong. This would be about 4:23-ish?
That's correct.
Okay. Going to advance to 4:15. And what are we going to see here? Him come back up the bluff?
Yes, so you'll see the same silhouette ascending the bluff and walking back into that same tree line.
Okay.
Can we be heard at sidebar real quick?
Sure.
Can you take that down just for a second?
Yep.
Do you want to go in chambers?
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay, Detective, just briefly, the file title's up here. This one says 5, this is number 5, and then it says Cam 1 Anderson 507. Just to be very clear, those were not the video file titles. When you downloaded them, those were renamed for purposes of court presentation. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Now I'm going to play, we are at, according to this clip, 5:04:14, and you indicated, I think, that we're about to see that figure ascend the bluff. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Is this the last time the silhouette appears to come up the bluff?
It is.
Playing at 4:15. Please point out when we see it.
Right there, at the bottom of the screen, at the bottom of the bluff, you can start seeing the silhouette walking back up into the trees.
Does it appear he has anything on his back?
I did not observe anything
right.
on his back.
I'll go back. So he ascended the bluff that time?
Yes, and I observed the backpack or something appearing to be on his back.
All right. Obviously, you can't, it's dark, but it looks like a backpack. Is that what you're saying?
Something large that was on his back.
All right. I'm going to fast forward. So that's the last time that the figure comes up from down from the shoreline?
That's correct.
Okay. Fast forwarding the video to 7:04. This would be 5:07:05, so this is about 4:29 a.m. real time, correct?
Correct.
And very, very faintly, are you going to be able to see those lights again on that bluff to the left side of the screen?
Yes, it'll be in the far left side of the screen. You'll see a very faint light that appears.
All right, even more faint than the first one we saw, though.
Correct.
Understanding that, could you please just make sure to point it out when you see it?
Yes.
All right. Playing at 7:05.
In that area, as I pointed, you could see the light.
I'll do it one more time. Right there?
Yes.
Okay. Very faint, correct?
Correct.
After this time, which would be about 4:29 a.m. real time, is there any more lights on the bluff or silhouette action going on that tree line going down to the coastline?
No.
All right, so if I understand you correctly, Detective, based on that video, around the time of 3:05 a.m. is when the human silhouette appears to descend the bluff, remain down there until about 4:17 a.m., correct?
That's correct.
And that would be consistent with the times that the vehicle entered the service road where the gate is and then exited subsequently around 4:30 a.m.
That's correct.
If an individual had walked southbound from the pump house or been going down the bluffs in that direction, would that individual have been captured in some kind of silhouette form similar to what we just saw here?
On the south camera,
Yes, on the south camera.
it only faced the sidewalk in Lake Michigan. There were no bluffs visible.
Okay. A person walking that sidewalk would be visible, though?
Correct.
I have no other questions. Thank you, Detective.
Cross-examination.
Thank you. You can have a seat now. You can pull that down.
Good afternoon. Should we hit the lights back on too?
I think that's a great idea.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
For the last hour or so of your testimony, you've gone through various videos that you collected as part of your work in this case. Is that fair to say?
Yes,
You did other things in this case, but one of your central tasks was to look for any and all video from this area that you could find.
correct.
And that's why the state presented this court, this jury with videos from public buildings and other buildings in that area. Is that fair to say?
Yes,
And correct me if I'm wrong, but basically, as a detective, you take the initiative to go around and look for whatever cameras you can find. Is that basically how it works?
yes, sir.
Did you take your marching orders from anybody? Would Detective Donner, for example, say, I want you to collect it from this building and that building, or do you just use your own judgment?
Sometimes we do get marching orders. Other times, in a case where there's a lot of moving parts, I kind of took my own initiative.
And there were a lot of moving parts here because obviously you've testified about being alerted to a leg that had been found and law enforcement was trying to move rather quickly to try to figure things out. Is that fair to say?
Yes,
And I don't mean quickly in a haphazard way, but just as a sense of urgency, right?
yes,
Because you would agree with me that what you did was, would you agree with me that your work in this case was thorough?
for the most part.
Okay, well, what part wasn't thorough?
I do everything that I can.
Okay. In other words, you could make any mistake another person could make.
Correct.
All right, but in terms of being thorough, you pulled videos from a variety of spots and then you studied them over and over again, right?
Yes,
And you also wrote you even drafted a report on that too.
correct.
There's a lot of purposes of getting those videos. There's many reasons why you would want video evidence. Fair to say?
Yes,
In particular, one thing that you were looking for was to try to figure out, narrow down the time frame if you could of when this car comes to the area, when it leaves the area, right?
correct.
It's important to pin down timelines, but it's also important to see if there's anything unusual that you see on the tapes, right?
Yes,
If the car stops and interacts with somebody, for example.
yes,
Now, to recap, you pulled video from a school, right? Cudahy High School.
correct.
You pulled video from a water station, water department,
Yes,
as well as the pump station itself.
correct.
But that's not all you looked for. You canvassed the whole area up and down Lake Drive and the surrounding area looking for videos, didn't you?
Myself and several other deputies and detectives all did a video canvas.
Okay. From all the videos you watched, can you determine who is driving Sade Robinson's car?
No,
Can you determine, I suppose you can determine it is Sade Robinson's car. You would feel comfortable making that determination?
based on the videos I saw, it looks similar, but with being a detective, I don't want to say 100% that it could be her car because there could be any number of sedans.
Right, even any number of Honda Civics, for example.
Correct.
And none of the videos that we've watched here show us damage to a vehicle that would be consistent with ramming through a gate, for example.
All of the video qualities being at night and from far distance away, we were unable to get closer views of any type of damage.
Even when you try to use law enforcement tools to zoom in, if you can, you still can't figure it out.
Unfortunately, the zoom features that we have, they just increase pixel size. They don't make things look smoother or better.
And I think I asked this, could you identify the driver of the vehicle?
No,
Could you determine at least gender, male or female?
I didn't even get a look inside of the vehicle to determine anything that was going on.
So obviously the race couldn't be determined, black, African-American, white, Mexican.
Nope.
Okay. Now let's talk about the Warnemont Park pump house footage.
Yes,
There's footage going north, footage going south, right?
correct.
And where I think the state left off was asking questions about footage that goes to the south. That's angled more towards Lake Drive. It doesn't capture down by the beach, right?
Correct.
So if somebody were discarding evidence down by that beach area, it wouldn't be captured on that video.
No, because it's 6 to 8 feet, I believe, something like that. But from the parking lot down to the beach, you wouldn't be able to, the camera would be positioned above and that would be blocked.
And in any event, the only footage you looked at was from approximately well, you stopped watching footage at about 5 o'clock in the morning, give or take. Would that be fair to say?
I watched the videos at the water department. I also, I believe, fully recovered videos from, I want to say like 1 a.m. to 7 a.m. And I did watch other portions of the videos as much as I could.
Okay, April 3rd, for example, a couple days, a day or two later, do you pull video from April 3rd or no?
No, I did not.
And the pump videos that we saw, it was your testimony that the figure was somewhat of a human silhouette,
Correct.
a black and white figure,
Correct.
grainy images,
Yes.
going in the tree line area,
Correct.
which doesn't show us really anything other than some human figure going up and down in that area, right?
Yes.
You can't make out even that the person has a body part that they've discarded, can you?
That's correct. I can't determine that.
Okay. Maybe there's something on the person's back you thought on one of the videos when you watched it again, but you can't even say that that's a backpack, right?
Correct. I can only see what's visible on the cameras, and that's just that silhouette and shadow with the lake in the background.
But the jury's seeing it now here in court, but you've had an opportunity at the department to watch these videos over and over and study them closely, right?
Yes.
And that's something that was critical in this case that you've done. You've spent many hours of time looking at these videos at the sheriff's department.
Yes.
In all the time can you even estimate how many hours do you think you've spent watching the Warnemont pump footage, for example?
It would just be a guesstimate at this point. I couldn't give you a possible number.
Dozens of hours?
Possibly.
And and there's a zoom feature, we saw that, right?
But when it comes to zoom features, they don't actually increase any quality. They just kind of increase the pixel size and what you're able to see.
Yep, so it doesn't even really do a whole lot.
Correct.
Can you determine when you spend all these hours studying the video, can you determine the race of the person?
No.
Can you determine if it's male or female?
No.
Height?
You could probably tell the difference between someone that was 3.5 or 4 feet versus 8 feet, but no.
Somewhere between 3.5 and 8 feet, we could say.
You'd be able to tell the difference of someone that was incredibly short versus incredibly tall, but I cannot make a height estimate.
And obviously hair color, facial features, none of that we can determine.
That's correct.
Now, the other thing you did in this case was you did a canvas, but the canvassing work you did was to look for video footage. Is that my understanding?
Yes.
You weren't doing a canvas to look for gloves or other evidence at the scene, were you?
That would not have been my responsibility. That would have been on other people that were on evidence search. I was focusing on the video footage.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. And when we were watching the Warmont Park videos themselves, can you say how many people are down there? I mean, do we know that this is even the same person on these various video clips you're watching?
Based on what we saw, there's camera footage only captures so many angles. There's any number of possibilities, but from what we were able to get from Life 360 and our timeframes, we were able to get an idea of the vehicle was the vehicle in question to this investigation.
But that silhouette figure, we don't really know. We don't know where the silhouette figure goes when it disappears from view, right?
Correct.
There's minutes of time during this hour-plus footage where there's gaps, 10-minute gaps, 15-minute gaps where you don't see anything, right?
Correct.
And I guess what I'm asking is based on the quality of this, we don't even know for sure that this is the same silhouette person, could be 2 people or 3 people for all we know.
Yet there's any number of possibilities. We also take into account those bluffs and the waves and everything else that was happening that night, that it would be extremely unlikely for someone to be down in that area.
Sure, but you're drawing the inference that it's somebody who obviously was involved in this crime, right?
Just generally speaking, it was probably 40-ish degrees, raining, and high waves that the average person probably wouldn't be down in that area.
Right, and I'm not suggesting people were hanging out there. What I'm saying is, you don't even know how many people were in this Honda, this car that we've seen on the footage. We don't even know how many people were in that car based on what we saw.
That's correct.
Okay, that's all.
State?
And just to be clear, you were looking at this time frame because it's the time when Sade's phone suggested she was at Warnemont Park, where the leg was later found.
Yes.
Nothing else.
Defense, anything else?
No.
Thank you, Detective. You may step down.
Okay.
I am gonna, Judge, I will recall this witness at a later time for a different topic.
Okay, thank you.
State calls Joseph Blanchard.